Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the What Fills Your Cup podcast. I am your host, Riley Alexander. We are so back, baby. And because of that, I'm having myself an Aperol Spritz. The sun is out, life is good, I'm wearing new jeans, your cute jeans, and wow, oh wow, it feels like I haven't been in the studio in so long because I actually haven't, okay? I was on vacation for a few weeks. I filmed an episode when I was away, but I haven't actually sat down and dialed in on my podcast in probably like 3 weeks. I feel really excited to be back. I feel really happy. I feel so grateful and excited for today's episode. Like I said, I was on vacation. It was wonderful, but it did kind of throw me out of my routine. However, I also just made sure that I really enjoyed my time away. It was much needed, much deserved, and I always forget how quickly summer goes by because there is always so much happening and so much going on. I feel as though each week I sit back and think, wow, I have a lot to do this week. And then the week's over and I'm like, wow, I have a lot to do next week. And then it's that whole thing for the whole summer, which I love. I love to be busy, but I will say it is hard sometimes staying on top of a routine. All that being said, today's podcast episode, I am going to be talking about sleep, diet, and mental health. Because this is a mental health podcast. Also, whole other side note, if you're watching this episode, if you're on YouTube right now, you could be watching it on Spotify as well. But if you are watching this, I want to say quickly that I have some news about my podcast as well. I'm going to be doing one podcast episode a week, and if you subscribe to me on YouTube, you will see a lot more vlog episodes. I just like having the range of content, and I enjoy showing my viewers a little bit more of behind the scenes. It also takes a little bit of stress off of me. I feel like for the first 4 or 5 months, having a solo episode and a guest episode every single week was a lot, so much fun, but I am now going to be doing one podcast episode a week and a lot more vlogs. You guys seem to be enjoying the vlogs, but I also really want to make sure that I am sharing my podcast on all of the platforms because this is what makes me the happiest, and I just wanted to give a little update, a little pup date, because I want to say the biggest thank you. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, which is my dream come true. So thank you. And there's the little update. Now that that's out of the way, let's dive right in to this episode for the week. So as mentioned, I was on vacation for a few weeks, and with all that being said, I felt as though for the first time in a few months, I should say, a lot of months, like 6 or 7 months, I was actually able to catch up on sleep. I always forget how important it is to prioritize sleep and prioritizing the importance of how essential sleep is and rest and downtime for me and my body. I don't understand how some people can just wake up on 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, conquer the day and do that as their routine. I am not someone that can do that. I've never been someone that can do that. I love my sleep. I need at least 8 hours of sleep to be recharged, reset, ready to tackle on the day, in a good mood as well. I'm also not a morning person, but I will say that has changed. I feel as though this year especially that has changed, and we'll touch on that later on in this episode, but I'm going to start by saying sleep is extremely important. And when I was away, I was reminded how important sleep is because I was sleeping a lot. I really neglect how important sleep is and staying on top of a healthy and good sleep schedule. I am someone that for years, have had trouble with sleeping. I go down rabbit holes. I will scroll till 2 a.m. on my phone. I will be up, tossing and turning, thinking of things I did in high school that I give myself the ick because I did them. And I will spiral at night specifically. And that is awful because that's the time I need to be resting. I used to actually take melatonin to help me sleep. And then I realized, I don't know if I want to be relying on anything to help me sleep because I was just not feeling 100% clear-headed, fresh, wide awake, ready to conquer the day because I was relying on certain things to help me fall asleep until I really just cut all those things out and naturally allowed myself to sleep and realizing, wow, I just need to, one, wake up earlier so I'm tired earlier. One, need to be doing things and prioritizing a routine during my day that drains my energy. So by the time I get to bed, I am exhausted. And I will say that the past month and a half, 2 months, I don't need anything to help me fall asleep, and I've gotten in a really good routine. I feel much more clear-minded in the morning, clear-headed. I feel very well rested. It's also a bit hard because I have a job at night. So I'm busy during the day and then I work at night, and I'll be getting home at midnight, 12:30 in the morning, and that is hard when I have kind of a random schedule. Like some nights I'll finish work early, some nights I'll finish work late. I am in an industry where that time varies, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love what I do. So I have just really realized, okay, when I get home, this is what I need to do to get me set for bed and let my body know that it's time to rest. I feel as though before I wasn't thinking of the fact that my body and my brain needed to reset, fuel, and rest, to say the least. Your brain is an organ, and your organs need a break. My brain is always on, and this is hard to turn off, but I realized that I need to make sure I'm prioritizing my brain health by allowing it to recharge, regroup, have its fuel, and reset so that I can wake up clear-minded, my memory's better, my focus is better, especially with having ADHD. Those are all things that I struggle with already. So if I'm lacking in the sleep department, it's not really helping, So those were all things that I just started really researching and learning about and really, really dialing in a good night routine, allowing myself to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Now, I will say, is that every night? No, I'm running on 5 hours of sleep, for example, today, and that's okay. A little blip, a little mix-up, but I was up early today for a workout class, and so I know that tonight I'm going to pass out, which is amazing because tomorrow will be a really fun day and I know I'll be recharged, re-energized, regrouped, XYZ. On the topic of sleep and just making sure that I have set a routine for myself when I need to go to sleep, I realized that when I was lacking sleep, I was really irritable, I was moody, I wasn't the best version of myself because of all those things. I was irritable, I was moody, I was honestly exhausted. When you're sleep deprived, you're just running on nothing. If you're tired, you're filling your body with caffeine. If you're filling your body with caffeine, you are about to probably have a caffeine crash at around 2 p.m. And then you're having a coffee or energy drink after 2 p.m. And then by the time it's nighttime, you're still wired from all the caffeine you drink. It's not a good cycle, I think that's what I'm trying to say is that's not really a healthy cycle. We got to kind of back it up and go a more sustainable and long-term healthier route, which is what I am working on and trying to implement in my everyday life. So speaking on all of that, a routine that has really helped me is creating a routine for bed. So I'll do my skincare, or I'll have a shower, or I will get my bed all ready. And another little thing that helps me is always crawling into a freshly clean or made bed every night. Really nice. Not clean, I should say. I don't wash my sheets every day, but I will say having a made bed and crawling into a made bed is chef's kiss for the nighttime routine. So I'll do my skincare, I'll get myself ready, I'll put my pajamas on, and then I will read. Reading opposed to scrolling on my phone has helped tremendously. I try to limit my screen time 1 hour before I go to bed. So if I want to play a game, I'll play a game, but otherwise I've really been trying to read a lot more before I go to bed because I feel as though not having the light in my eyes and just getting lost in a good book has really, really helped me try to fall asleep, or getting me to fall asleep. You know what I'm trying to say? Another little fact, and I brought up caffeine, but I will say I do limit my caffeine after 3 o'clock. As much as I want that other coffee, third, fourth, maybe sometimes fifth coffee, I'm not normally going to drink one if I see that it is 3 p.m. because I will just be wired. Or I'll have a crazy crash and then I'll be irritable, and no one wants that. So I've really been also trying to limit my caffeine intake throughout the day, but I feel as though those things that I just mentioned have really helped me when it comes to sleep and prioritizing sleep to better my mental health. Now, talking about sleep and fuel and fueling your brain and helping yourself, I also really wanted to talk about the word fuel, because fuel looks different for many people. It can be food, it can be sleep, it can be exercise, and those are all very important things. For me, especially when it came to my diet, I wasn't realizing how many negative side effects were happening to my body when I was not eating or drinking properly. As I say, with an Aperol Spritz in my hand, which is fine, everything in moderation, but I will say I was not eating at a good level. I was fueling my body with super unhealthy foods, which then led to my skin breaking out, my hair falling out, my body just not being in a healthy state. And I will say the importance of food and diet for your mental health is insane. Now, I am very much someone that balance is key. So if I want some chips, I'm going to have some chips. If I want some ice cream, I'm going to have some ice cream. Do not get me wrong. But when I was eating that stuff every single day, I was realizing it was giving me a temporary, very short-lived sugar rush, or, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, to then feeling like shit and feeling heavy and bloated and not internally great. So I really also want to say there is a huge importance on properly fueling your body so that you can exercise, do your tasks, stay focused, remain positive, good, healthy energy throughout your day, opposed to I'm about to destroy this milkshake, be on a sugar rush for about an hour, and then absolutely feel like crap and regret all life's decisions. I want to say, I think the message that I'm trying to get out of this episode is just to really sit back and look at your habits and look at, okay, is this healthy for me? If it's not, is this something that I'm constantly seeing in my everyday routine, or is this once in a blue moon, like drinking, for example? I love me an Aperol Spritz, and I'm not having an Aperol Spritz every single night, every single day. But once a week or twice a week, yeah, I'm going to be chugging Aperol Spritz like there's no tomorrow. And that's okay. Everything in moderation. You want to find what's best for you and your body, because what's best for me and my body is not going to be the same as what's best for you and your body. And that's a-okay. These are just tips and insight of what has worked or doesn't work for me. But I will say diet and sleep and exercise, now going into the third little segment that I got going on in this little peanut brain, are all so crucial for bettering your mental health. Now, trickling from food, I want to talk about exercise, because exercise for me has been a battle of ups, downs, lefts, rights. It is not an easy road, or it has not been an easy road, I should say. And I am so grateful that I've now found a good routine and workouts that I absolutely love doing. However, I also want to remind you that when you're working out, you still need to fuel your body. Before you work out, you should be having a little something, not just a coffee or working out on an empty stomach, because what energy is your body going to be using when you're working all your muscles? No one wants to faint in a workout class, let me tell you. I have almost been there one too many times. I've thrown up in a workout class, but I've never fainted in a workout class, but I've been really freaking close. And that shit's scary. And it wasn't until that moment that I was like, wow, I'm an idiot. I'm not feeling my body. I just woke up an hour ago and now I'm running 5 miles. I don't actually do that, but I will say I realized how important it is to at least have something in your stomach when you are going to work out. And then after your workout, fueling your body, all those muscles that you just worked, that appetite you built up because you burnt so many calories, refueling your body is so crucial and essential to not only your physical health, but also your mental health. Your brain's working as well during your exercises, so you need to fuel your brain. Your brain is important. It helps you do a lot of things like speak, walk, talk, move, groove. You know the drill. Incorporating exercise into my weekly and daily routine has been so game-changing for my mental health. I feel so much more awake in the mornings. I feel so much more accomplished. Such a great way to start my day. But if you're someone that doesn't have time in the morning to go to the gym, go in the afternoon or go after work or go in the evening. That's also a great way. It releases positive chemicals out of your brain into your body. I always feel so much better after a workout. And am I dreading it the second I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to my class because I don't want the $19 class fee if I miss? Yeah, I'm dreading it 90% of the time. But once I leave that room, I'm like, oh, I could create hovercrafts right now. That's how I feel every time I leave a workout class. I feel so ready to take on my day. I feel so much more clear-minded, positive. My energy's going, and that was all natural energy. I am not coffee crashing at 8 a.m. If anything, I'm like, yeah, this put a pep in my step, and it makes me feel so much better. But with exercise, I just want to remind you that you need to be fueling your body properly, and that whatever way that might look like for you, if you want an ice cream sundae for breakfast, go for it, okay? Don't restrict yourself, but also make sure you are eating nutritious, healthy, good fats, healthy fats, filling carbs, foods that are fuel, and foods that will make you feel good about what you're putting into your body to help you make you feel good about your body. And that all that goodness that you're feeling will come back to you with your mental health. I can assure you that that will happen. And I just wanted to share a little bit about some things that I've been doing and the importance of them, because I didn't know this, and I wish I knew this years ago, last year even, because it wasn't until I turned 25 I was like, God damn, girl, you're 25 now, you should really start taking care of yourself. You know, it wasn't until I woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, my back hurts. Ick. Oh my gosh. My back was aching. I'm not wearing a bra, so that's not too tight. But what the hell is going on? Why is my back aching? And that's when I realized you're growing up. All in all, with this episode, I really want to say that your mental health doesn't start in your head. It starts in fueling your body, getting enough sleep, prioritizing movement, and surrounding yourself with people that love you, obviously. Throw that one in there too. And I'm sure that when you start taking care of yourself, it will reflect in your everyday daily routine, in your energy levels, your focus levels, the way you treat others, the way you treat yourself. I just know that exercise, diet, and sleep are really big things that I'm prioritizing in my life at the ripe age of 25, and quarter life crisis is around me. One of my tasks for you this week is to try to go to bed 30 minutes earlier than you would normally go to bed and see if that helps at all with your mood, your daily routine, your bedtime, your morning. I would just love to know how that works out for you, because it's worked out for me pretty good. So I want to give a little task or a challenge for all of you to try. Before I sign off today, I want to say the biggest thank you for listening to another episode of the What Fills Your Cup podcast. Be sure to comment what videos or topics you want to hear from me. Give this video a like. It really helps my engagement and sharing my podcast with the world. And obviously subscribe or rate or follow my show. Again, that also really, really helps me. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a dream come true. So I just wanted to say the biggest thank you. And I cannot wait to see you guys next week for another episode. If you haven't heard it today, I love you, and do not forget to tell someone you love them, because you never know who needs it a little extra. Mwah. Bye, you guys. See you very soon.